Nadia Bullis. I am sharing another video for some behind the scenes for the picture book I Do Declare a Norwegian Fair, co-authored by myself and Carissa Bates, and I am sharing the illustrating process that I went through for the cover. And so that's the piece I'm sketching out now. Sorry it's a little later in the process, but this is where more of the details come in, so hope that's a bit more interesting. I forgot to record earlier on, and was also placing and figuring it out more. So once I was feeling comfortable, I remembered, oh, I should record. Yeah, so initially, Carissa wanted the cover earlier on so we could use it for more marketing purposes. But at the time, I attempted to do some thumbnail sketches, some ideas, and I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't getting composition right. It just wasn't. I knew I really wanted a nice cover that encapsulated it, and I still hadn't done any of the sketches really for the inside. I think just a couple. And at the time, I was still kind of tweaking how the mouse was going to look, who was our main character, and I had a deadline with another book, I had schoolwork with my college, and so I was in a tight space, not a great creative mental space. So stepped back from that, gave it some time, finished up my other book project, which is, to do a little plug there, by Lindsay Pope, and it is Stella's Dream. Follow-up for the book Sheldon's Time. Both great books, please do check them out. And so finally wrapped that up, was happy with that, had a little more space to breathe, and I started on the sketches for this book here, and just recently was finally ready and comfortable enough with the characters, with the colors, to reattempt the cover again. And it still took me a while because I mostly knew I wanted kind of a banner, like a fair banner was going to be for the title. Mouse needed to be in it, but I was like, well, I need to showcase more fair elements because this is a very fun fair, and the Norwegian elements, I mean, it's in the title after all. And I was struggling with how to do that without it being a snapshot of a scene, rather than a proper book cover. And my mother, who is, it's actually weird to say mother, I don't call her that. My mom, who is a great help to me in the creative process when I'm getting stuck, helped me formulate and figure out how to pull those elements in together, and we ended up with this piece, which showcases the people from the festival, their goods. Also, the mouse is coming in with all her energy, grabbing onto some lefse, and also the cat character who will be featured, but I think it was appropriate that he was a little more discreet as he is in the book. So very happy with it, very pleased with how the characters turned out. I really like them. And their designs here. Some of them are featured inside the book, so you'll get to meet them and see all the fun things they have to offer, which was, again, something I wanted to showcase in cover and will be explored more within the book. So since this is a bit of a longer video than I've done before, I'm running out of what to talk about on the illustration itself, and the painting process takes me a bit longer, and unfortunately the lighting's going to go between cool and warm because I would let it dry, come back to it, and it would get into the evening, so I turned my lamp on. So sorry when it looks a little I'm not very professional in this matter. It's more just to have a little bit of a place marker and give some, I don't know, I like behind the scenes. I have, as an illustrator and aspiring now writer of children's books, I have watched almost everything I can find of people working on picture books, vlogs, and all that. I just eat that up. So for anyone out there who's like me, may appreciate this. But on that note, I might talk a bit about myself, how I got into the picture book illustrating, and how I met Carissa Bates and how we ended up working together, which is very closely tied, honestly. I had been putting off the dream of illustrating children's books. For anyone who is a creative who is blocked by fear that I can't do that or I'm not ready, and I definitely felt that I was not ready. My art, I know people enjoy it, I enjoy it as well, but I have so many weak points in it that I'm still working on, still learning. I'm self-taught. I'd never done something that needed a consistent character all the time. I actually didn't do too much that was very childlike in my style and in my personal pieces. So I spent about a year researching how the whole process worked, how traditional publishing worked, how self-publishing worked, and I researched, and again, I looked for all the videos I could find, all the podcasts I could find, and never quite felt ready. And it was very by chance that I gave it a shot. I had joined some Facebook groups with authors and illustrators to see what were people doing, what were people looking for, what were people posting. And I saw someone post something to the effect that, hey, I'm new, would anyone be willing to work with me for experience? Something to that effect. And I was like, that's not a bad idea, although I could see how that could also go wrong. But at that point, I think I was also just tired, and I was like, you know what? Let me try that. Nothing will probably come of it. Very unlikely someone will answer me. So I made a similar post in one of the groups, and I was contacted by one person, and I truly believe it was a godsend, because I could not wish for anyone better to really kick me in the gear, get me going, to have been an encouragement to me. Very, very grateful for meeting Carissa Bates. She reached out to me she kind of had several book ideas going at the time. She had kind of a collaboration project going at the time. I was like, it might take a while. I'm going to have to figure things out. If you're willing to work with me with all that in mind, I would really just appreciate the opportunity. Because I had a hard time kicking myself in the gear to do a personal book, because you procrastinate and you over-obsess. And I find I do better sometimes when I'm just told what someone else needs me to do. I'm given some parameters. I was like, okay, this is what I'm working with. I don't have endless possibilities, right? I would end up doing her first book, I Am a Good Neighbor Like Jesus, The Adventures of the Wildflower Bunch, which I believe is getting a bit of a rebranding now. And then her cancer book for children, as she is a mother of 3 and a cancer survivor. She wanted to explore a book for families going through that offers some hope, and that is We Find Joy. And then the traveling book, much as it says, is a book that travels many places, experiences many things. And so I have worked on those books with her now, and then we came to a point where we got a good working relationship, and I think we found a place in this book where I think we both had something invested into it, and now both knew what we could bring to the table. And so this is even more of a collaboration, as I got a little hand in the writing aspect of it. And so and from her I ended up getting more contacts. I ended up building more presence in the community and talking with other authors. I've worked with Lindsay Pope, I've worked with Erin Finocchi, and working now on my own books that I hope to publish in the future. And so that is kind of my stepping point into this, and my journey with Carissa Bates, and I do hope we continue our journey together, or if it parts off into different directions, that we continue to support each other in our endeavors. because this has certainly been quite the adventure. Alright, well that is nearing the end of the video. I am sorry again about the clips occurring in different lightings. Like that right there, goodness. But it's just kind of what it is. When I record, it's different times of day, I'm working with different light, and so at least for now, that's as best as I could manage. But thank you for watching and listening, and do let me know if you have any questions or things you would like me to talk about over future videos. I would definitely like to know your thoughts on the illustration, if you have a favorite character, by the looks of it. And I do hope you will check out the book when it comes out. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks again.